Rev up your engines!
Well, it looks like over at Rivian, the rats are leaving the sinking ship. Their chief accounting officer, Jeffrey Baker, just resigned. And earlier this year, he sold almost $500,000 worth of his Rivian stock, getting out. And of course, it's the usual corporate platitudes. Baker says he's leaving the company in order to pursue other opportunities. His resignation is not the result of any disagreement with the company. No, he just decided, I think I'll leave, after I cash in some of my stock. The chief officers, right? They know something's not going on all right, great. They jump off the ship first. It used to be the captain supposed to go down with the ship. Well, now the captains are the first ones jumping off the ship. Kind of like that Italian captain on that ship that sank in the Mediterranean, right? It hit a rock, and he was supposed to go out with the ship. He's jumping on with the women and children to get off. I guess he's in jail now. Well, CFOs, all those guys start jumping off the ship. Guess what? You shouldn't remain on a ship either, because it's sinking. And Rivian is definitely sinking. Overpriced electric vehicles. The electric supposed revolution. Yeah, it looks like it's a failed revolution now. People don't want it. They're not interested in it. They're not buying these things. And now even the officers of the companies are resigning and getting out. Let me out of here quick. As if there's not enough charging stations for electric cars. The ones that they are have so many rules to make your head spin. Now, many non-Tesla owners will find out that some Electrify American stations will limit deep charging. They only want you to charge 10 to 80%. They don't want you to go 80 to 100% because it takes so much longer to go 80 to 100 that it will more than double the charging time and then builds up a backlog, right? Just totally laugh at these EV companies saying, here's the range of our EV. The range is the 100% range, but they're telling you, well, you can only charge it to 80% at our charging machines, right? So right there, you're losing 30% of the range because you should charge it before it's at 10%. Most of them, they'll either tell you, quick, charge up, do something when it's under 12%. So you're only going from 10 to 80% in the beginning. So that's only 70% of range. So right away, you're going to cut the range. Maybe you're on a long trip and you want to make it somewhere, right? But they're saying, no, you don't want you to charge from 80 to 100. It stops at 80%. They got so many rules. There's so much crap with these electronic cars. It's no wonder the public isn't buying them. And this is why I make these videos, to warn people, hey, don't think this stuff is going to work when you get it. I've had people bring me electric cars to film because they're so peed about it, they want to tell the world too. And they say, Scotty, I almost didn't make it to your place because I was halfway there and there were 5 people in front of me and I thought, I'll go back home. I'm not going to wait. But it's a fan of mine, so he said I looked on my little map and it said 20 miles away there was another charger, and luckily he made it there and there wasn't anybody there, and then he charged it up. Do Americans want to have to deal with this crap? No, they don't. And then the charging systems themselves have rules. Who can charge? How long you can charge? This is why they're not going to become popular in the United States. Take too long. They have too many rules. It costs too much money. And they just think people will fall in line with this crap. Well, I'm warning you, don't fall in line with this crap because that's exactly what it is. A load of baloney. Electrify America. And if you remember, Electrify America, that's Volkswagen's charging network in the United States that they were forced to put a bunch of money into because of the Dieselgate. They cheated on pollution. And instead of paying money directly to the federal government, well, they're building electric stations to charge cars with these weird rules. I say to your electric cars. Jeffy Bum says, should I replace my engine? I have a Nissan NV 3500 12-seat passenger van. I got 7 kids. So this thing has 55,000 kilometers on it, but I didn't change the oil for 18,000 miles. Now I hear noises, and Nissan dealer says, I need a new engine. It does misfire, and it has code P0024 exhaust valve timing control. And the dealer says, because of the sludge, I'm not chasing the codes. You need a new engine. It's going to cost you 20 grand. Should have changed the oil. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But first thing you want to do is this. My friend Bernie in Albuquerque has ATS oil cleaner. You put it in your engine oil, you rev the engine up to about 1800 RPM with a fan in front of the car for about half an hour. Then change the oil and filter. That might fix it. I've seen it fixed because you have exhaust valve timing control code. If it gets all gunked up inside, that'll make the variable valve timing go weird. I have seen Bernie's Cleaner fix this. Now, you only have 50,000 kilometers, 28,000 miles. The engine should have been able to take that. Now, yeah, it's probably all sludged up, but Bernie's Cleaner is better than anything out there. Just Google Bernie Albuquerque ATS oil cleaner. Buy yourself a bottle of this stuff. Put it in, follow the directions like I just said. It might fix it. Now, if it doesn't, it's too far gone. And unfortunately, they want all that money. I'd say try to find a late model wrecked one and have a used engine put in, because $20,000 is $20,000. You can find used engines a lot cheaper than that. Well, there's enough weird stuff going on with the Cybertrucks. Well, here's one that got stuck in a lake. Back in the day, Elon promised a bunch of stuff. He said that these things were going to cost 50 grand. Now they're going for 100 over. Don't put much faith into anything the guy says. He also said that it can serve briefly as a boat. Tesla gave the Cybertruck what's called wade mode. A pump is supposed to pump air into the suspension system to the battery pack to create positive pressure and prevent water from entering the battery pack. It said it can go to 31 inches of water and it can be a little boat for a while. Well, guess what? Guy tried it out. Well, he got stuck in the water. People had to come and pull it out of the water. That's bad enough the windshields break. People say that's off-roads. They show getting stuck in a cornfield. If you do get one, don't put it in wade mode and expect it to wade too much. Now, this particular Cybertruck got stuck in a lake in Czechia. How they got to Czechia, but they are there. The guy tried to drive to Slovenia on a shallow lake bed, but the truck got stuck in the gravel. Yet another failure of the Cybertruck. Well, after all, cyber means relating to or characteristic to the culture of computers and virtual reality. Well, I guess they put the Cybertruck into real reality, and it's not working out too well. Well, it is summer. Lots of people are traveling, going on vacation. Well, here's an idea. Don't go to Barcelona. Protesters in Barcelona are squirting water at tourists. They don't like tourists coming to their city and spending money and making it crowded. Well, what it really comes down to is this. They're mainly younger people, and they don't like it because it's gentrifying their areas. And I've seen this all over the place. I saw it in Taos, New Mexico. The people that lived and grew up there couldn't afford to buy houses anymore. I even saw it in North Dakota in parts that were being gentrified from all the California boys coming in. I was there in the summer and there was all these jets and they were all sealed. And I thought, what are these jets? The guy says, well, those are the California guys' jets. They're sealed. And then when winter comes at ski time, they open them up and then they fly back and forth to California to ski in North Dakota and then go back. Who would have thought that, you know? But that's how much money these people have. Well, the people in Spain are revolting, saying, we don't want you stinking tourists in our areas anymore. So like this couple here, they're having dinner. The woman's hiding because people are squirting water at them. Who knows what else they're putting in those squirt guns. They don't want your stinking tourist dollars. Spend it somewhere else where it's nice. I just recently went to Mendocino, California. Had a great time. Nobody squirted at me. They were very friendly, nice people, beautiful views. Right? Now, here's a hilarious one. The Tesla investors are peed because the legal team that did that suit in Delaware, where they were suing him saying he can't get all this. The legal team now wants $7 billion legal fee. Tesla shareholders are ready to appear in a Delaware court to call out the judge to reject the outlandish request for $7 billion in attorney fees. Greedy attorneys, it's too much, right? That was when they were challenging Elon Musk's $56 billion pay. So they hired this law firm. I guess they didn't get any kind of stipulation on what they were going to charge. They gave him a blank check, right? The fee request by these lawyers was $7.2 billion. And that amounts to $370,000 for every hour worked by the lawyers. $370,000 an hour. Who the heck do these people think they are? Our society has gone totally berserk. Now, some of the people working on the case are typically charged as little as $275 an hour. A long way from $370,000 an hour, but I guess they thought, oh, what the heck? These people have money. Let's take it from them. So let's see what the judge says. So far, there's more than 8,000 Tesla shareholders who sent letters and objections for this outlandish fee. Now let's see what the judge does. Let's say they get their $7 billion in fees. Elon's already had his people vote and say that he's supposed to get his money, and that's still in court. Who knows what'll come out of any of this crazy nonsense. But it shows one thing. Anything that has to do with Tesla has to do with immense greed. $375,000 an hour. Whoo-wee, boy, I wish I could make that kind of money. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.